Hi Stampers, and welcome back. I'm glad you're joining me today. It looks like it's getting ready to snow outside here, so I put on one of my warmest sweaters, and so I'm cuddling up in my craft room, and I feel like I'm at the spa. I got a few of my favorite things, candle on the warmer in the background. I have a cup of tea, not a coffee drinker, but I love tea, and so I put it in one of my favorite cups. I got this from a girlfriend of mine. It says, "Good friends are like shoes, beautiful, make you look great, help you stand taller, and have amazing souls." And another favorite part is that it's blingy, and I love bling. So that's making my day. I have got a couple little Hershey's Hugs in here for myself. I'm going to treat myself when I'm done. I'm telling you, I spoil myself when I come in my craft room, and it puts me in the best mood. It makes me de-stress and ready to tackle the world when I do eventually have to leave. I did get out another pair of my favorite shoes, some boots, very appropriate today because of the snow. Put those on, so incredibly comfortable, and I'm glad I get to wear them and they're not stuck in my closet somewhere. I want to show you the supplies for the card. Well, actually, I probably should show you the card first. This is the card I'm making, a very simple Valentine's Day type card, since that's coming up just around the corner. Just some very basic steps for this particular one. And basic, simple supplies. Work of Art and Best Day Ever stamp set are the only two sets that I used. In fact, I only used two stamps. The little heart that's in the Best Day Ever, and then just the word "you" from the, I forget the names of these yet, I'm still so new, Work of Art set. So these two have quickly become my favorite sets, probably because I only have a few of the new Stampin' Up! Sets, and I have been using these. Not a whole lot of supplies in my craft room, at least not Stampin' Up! I have all sorts of junk behind me, but just with a couple of sets, it's endless the number of things that I can make in here. Just using real red ink pad and then a heart punch. This heart punch is one that I've had for a really long time. They do have new ones in the current Stampin' Up! Catalog, so if you do order a punch from me or get one from a demonstrator that you currently have, it might look a little bit different, but it will work the same. All right, I think I have everything good to go. Let's snuggle up if it's cold outside in your neck of the woods, and if it's not, I'm very jealous. You're lucky. Let's go.
All right, I have my supplies all ready for my card. I have all my paper items here. You'll notice that I don't trim everything down before I use it, because I trim it after, a lot of times after I stamp on it or layer the paper on it, because then I just find it easier to cut it to the appropriate size without a bunch of measuring ahead of time. So I have a piece of black paper, a piece of red paper, a piece of white paper that I will trim to fit once I need it. I am using a black card base for this, so this was at one time an 8.5, 11 sheet of cardstock, which I cut in half, and then each half is folded to make the card. And I have two pieces of white. One I'm going to layer on the front of this card, and the other, if you use a black card, it's almost impossible unless you use some kind of metallic pen, or they do have some pens that work on dark paper, but it makes it hard to write. So I will just put in a piece of white cardstock so that I can write my information, not information, but my sentiment and my greeting to the card receiver. So that stuff's all good to go. I am using the U from the Best Ever, no, excuse me, this is from the Work of Art set, and I already put that on my clear base. And then I'm using the little heart from the Best Day Ever. This is a polymer set, and what that means is it's going to look a little different than the other sets. These are all very see-through, which makes this stamp extremely easy to use if you want to, very specifically place it. I'm just going to put, I always like to have everything on one block that I can, so I'm just going to put that in the corner, and then I can see through it to stamp that. I don't know if you can catch that on the screen, but I can see through to that heart. What I'm going to do is just stamp a row of these hearts across the top and the bottom using the real red ink pad. Alright, I'm going to stamp those hearts across in a line. Because they are clear stamps, truly clear stamps, I can see through and just line those up perfectly. Takes a little time. I am not a perfectionist. Some people might really want to get their Stamp-A-Majig out so they can place it perfectly, which good for you. I just don't take the patience for that. And I'm also going to do a row across the bottom. Okay, so that piece is good to go. And just slide that out of the way. And then I just want my little small section that is going to have a heart with the word U on it. I'm going to ink up my U. I'm going to trim this piece down so I don't have to be super careful about the placement because I'm just going to make that work. And that's really the only other stamping that I need to do for this card. Cover up my ink pad so it doesn't dry out. And then I'm going to take my punch and punch out of red. Oh, that's not the red I want to use. Let me grab a different piece of scrap red. Here we go. You can see I have a piece of paper. I save everything because I can still get a few more hearts out of this one. Okay, so I punched the heart out of the red. And I am going to, I think I'm going to trim this down first, so just hang on for a second. Okay, I have trimmed this piece down to where I think I want it. I am going to be mounting this heart on here with a little dimensional that will make it stick up just a little bit. And because that's going to be raised, it's going to be a little harder for me to glue this down, so I'm going to save that for the end. And I want to layer this on a piece of black cardstock, so I want to do that first. Oh my gosh, that's almost perfect. If I shave off just a little piece off of this, it will fit perfectly. This is my process that I use. Like I said, some people measure a lot. I am just kind of a do it as I go kind of person. If you measure everything out perfectly, good for you. I wish I was that kind of a person. Okay, so I have this layered on here. Now I can just trim off the black so that I leave a border. So I've done that as well. And then I'm going to mount a band, a red band across the center of this card. Again, I'm just doing my gluing first because I don't want that popped up image to bother me. So I'm going to put this on. Now with this piece, you know what, I wish I would have put it over just a little bit. So I'm just going to fix that quickly before it adheres on there. I don't want any white showing on that other side. Okay. So I'll get that on there nice and firm. And if I trim from the back side, and you can see, I'm giving away all my secrets here. On the back of this card, you can see that I had flubbed up a few times, and I just use that as the back side. Waste not. Totally my mantra that I follow. And I'm going to layer this. All right, so now I'm ready to put on my, well, actually, let me do one more thing. I'm going to put it onto the card base as well. I love just the simple, clean black, white, and red on here. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little heart, if I can pick it up, and I'm going to use a Stampin' Dimensional for this. So I'll pop one of these off. If you have never seen these, they're just kind of a thicker piece of adhesive, and it just happens they fit this little heart perfectly. And that just pops it up off the card a little bit. And that's all I wanted to say is heart you. And there's your card. I will go and take and put in my white piece on the inside, and it will be finished and ready to go and give to somebody that I love. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy making some cards with your stamps. See you later.